Jeep recommends you change the transfer case fluid in your JK every 60,000 miles. To get this done, we're gonna need an 18 and 19 millimeter socket, a 10 millimeter hex socket, ratchets, a torque wrench, rags, a drain pan, 2 quarts of ATF plus Ford automatic transmission fluid, and optionally a impact driver. Also optional is this fluid pump, but I would highly recommend getting one of these. First thing we need to do is crawl underneath the driver's side door. And in order to gain access to our transfer case, we need to remove this skid plate. In order to do that, you got 2 18 millimeter bolts in the back and 2 19 millimeter bolts up front. To make this quicker, I'm gonna be using an impact. I have a fuel tank skid plate, so this side might look a little different for you. Now that we have access to our transfer case, we're going to remove the fill plug first with a 10 millimeter hex socket. Now when removing this fill plug, you're going to want to be sure that you have your drain pan underneath because it's possible for fluid to come out. We always remove the fill plug first because that is the only way to put fluid back into this transfer case. Now if something happens, if this breaks or strips out, we want to be sure we can leave the fluid in there and we don't have it already drained. We are ready to remove the drain plug. Make sure you get it on your face like that. That was lovely. I'm gonna clean up this surface here and reinstall our drain plug. And this is gonna get torqued down somewhere between 15 and 25 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna shoot right in the middle at 20 foot-pounds. You can also apply Teflon sealant to that if you would like to. I'm using a smaller torque wrench, so I have this set to 240 inch-pounds, which is equivalent to 20 foot-pounds. Now we're just gonna pump this ATF fluid into our transfer case until it starts oozing out of the hole. That way we know the level is right at the bottom of that hole and it is filled. Now if you have one of these bottle pumps, it makes the job much easier and much cleaner. So I'd highly recommend getting one. I'll throw a link in the description of all the products I used in this video. Once that fluid's oozing out, we're gonna reinstall our fill plug, and this also gets torqued down somewhere between 15 and 25 foot-pounds, so I'm going to be shooting for the same 20 foot-pounds. The last step is going to be to reinstall our transfer case skid plate, and I need to sneak that in underneath the fuel tank skid plate, and I'm going to torque all these bolts down to 55 foot-pounds. Bada bing, bada bing.